Hello, I'm Aubrey Shepherd. It's the, what day in June is it? Must be, wow, it's Fringed Orchid Day. That's what day it is at Pinnacle Wet Prairie in South Bell, Arkansas. So we're going to see several pictures of this because last year I never got a picture of it, could not find it. And today I found 9 plants within about a 30-foot square circle, maybe, and that was nice. And I tried to crop a lot of them to show you so you could see the detail, even though they're very tiny plants. They're a couple of feet tall. Maybe they're a little taller this year than normal, but 2 feet would be big for them. Anyway, there they are. They're not showy. You gotta just be really looking closer. You might step on one and wonder what that little mushed of white, yellowish flower parts there are. Anyway, they're beautiful, and I believe this is St. John's wort. I believe it's the wild native version, and it's growing out on Pinnacle Prairie. And first day I'd seen it out there this year, and haven't seen any even in my own yard. Here's some more of the ragged fringed orchids. And they've got a name, Plantanthera, something else. Well, anyway, they're in the Plantanthera family. Oh yeah, been a busy day. And there's some milkweed down at the bottom of that picture. And there's a close-up of it. It looks like it might be for, maybe I didn't even have to, made these so close to it, I didn't have to crop them. But most of these orchid pictures are color adjusted a bit to brighten them up because it wasn't it wasn't perfect light today, but parts of the day were good. And look at all the little details, the fringe work. This is obedient plant. We've had these, I guess, the last couple of weeks, and there are quite many of them out on Pinnacle Wet Prairie, seasonal wet prairie in South Belleville, Arkansas. And you can see various angles. They're called obedient because if you bend one over, it'll stay that way. If the rain, like we had this afternoon, bent that one over, it'll stay that way. This is Asclepius, what is it? Okay, anyway, here's another really cropped, tiny flower on a big plant. And I can't remember what the name is right now, but in the past we found the name before the season was over. But today we get to see them up close, and when you notice that little orange flower up on a big stem, look up close and see it looks that way. Okay, these are probably ashy sunflowers. A lot of these on Pinnacle seasonal wet prairie. If you get out there before they all dry up, when this rain ends, they'll dry up. Okay, this is Monarda, and that's a great spangled fritillary butterfly. This is a poppy mallow. It's a pretty small plant. You can see a little, maybe, is there a little critter in there too? Okay, this is horsetail milkweed. It's the first time I've seen it this year. I figured it was going to be in bloom today, and sure enough it was. And it's out on Pinnacle Prairie. And to show you just how small it is, I'm holding it in my hand. Here's a plant I could not identify today, and I hope somebody will help us by calling in the name of it. This is a mountain mint, and it's a little beauty that we'll get more of and even better. This is a field milkwort, a polygala species, and this is about the 2.5 weeks we've had these. Well, by the time you see it, yeah, that long. Polygala field milkwort with some kind of bug, and I cropped it and adjusted it too much. That was pencil flower, the little tiny yellow flower in that group. So most of those are things that were new today, and we'll see you next time. Hello, I'm Aubrey Shepherd. It's the 18th of June, 2014. We have some photos from Fayetteville, Arkansas. That's a baby cardinal. You think that one can't fly? Well, after I snapped a few pictures, it flew. So small. And that's a hairy wild petunia, or it might be a smooth wild petunia. They're very similar flowers. This is a hair streak butterfly, and this is purple milkweed. And this is a close-up. I don't even think, this was so bright I didn't have to brighten it any. And here's a syrphid fly, a flower fly up close. And these things come in so many different varieties that I just keep finding more with a slightly different abdominal structure. Okay, this sort of greenish, but primarily white flower. This is a close-up, cropped, trying to get details. And I don't know its name. And I looked through the books and couldn't find its name. I do that a lot. That's a weevil, by the way, working for smaller edible things on that beautiful little wildflower. This is common milkweed, Asclepias syriaca, and we've shown those for the last 3 weeks, I guess. Here's trail work being done, and guess what? See the line of trees that left? Well, that new trail is going to be flooded frequently. That's part of the so-called Town Branch Trail that it's going to come under Razorback Road or across Razorback Road and down there to that particular spot. And the houses that are to the right of that, up the hill a little, those have been actually flooded in the past. So, you know, this is going to be a trail you can't use on a day like this afternoon and tomorrow, the 19th. Okay, another dragonfly, and you can tell I had to adjust the color. That's the way it looked before I enhanced the colors on it. Very simple procedure, but I could see it if I got down close, but I had to zoom several times trying to get them, and then actually crop 3 there, I guess, to get them up close and bright. Okay, this is Asclepias viridis, also known as antelope horns milkweed. Here's another syrphid fly, flower fly we call them. And again, I have a crop to try to show you the details of the body. This is rose verbena or rose vervain, and it's a beautiful prairie native, and you also see it in a lot of people's gardens because it's so wonderful. I can't identify that orange flower. I hope somebody will. I'd almost give them $1 if they just give me a phone call and tell me what that is. That's ironweed, and it's the first plant I've seen in South Fayetteville with any color starting to show up on it of that species. This is horsetail milkweed, and this is curly leaf milkweed. And see, that's the only one I've seen with a seed pod. This is a puffball or a pussy toe or something, not sure. Here are 2 different species of the syrphid fly or flower fly species. This is a heel-all plant. So that's it for today. Short and sweet. Do your part and enjoy the weather. Bye. Hello, I'm Aubrey Shepherd, recording this on the 18th of June 2015. Asclepias amplexicaulis. It's also known as curly leaf or blunt leaf milkweed. We are seeing here the excuse me, well, now we've moved on to the I'm having a slow day. Okay, you've seen their Asclepias viridis, and you see some plains coreopsis. Some people call them garden coreopsis because they're so popular in gardens. This is the horse nettle, and that's a very tall one, very unusual because of the rainy weather we've had all spring. And so it's not surprising it grew so tall that I was looking at it almost level with my face. And this is a hair streak butterfly, or it could be a tailed blue. I'm uncertain about that ID, and I hope somebody will tell me what it is. That is a box turtle I've seen repeatedly in my yard in the same spot in the last month or so. And I hope that thing has found a mate and isn't just waiting there in vain. This is the common milkweed, Asclepias syriaca, and see several shots of it, and it's, about past bloom by the time you see this. And there's a bumblebee on the Asclepias syriaca. There's a close-up trying to show you the structure of the flowers, pretty similar. Okay, this is Venus looking glass. That's a beautiful, very small flower, and you can see how small it is when you see one that happened to be growing right next to this Asclepias tuberosa. That's what people call butterfly weed, but it's just another species of milkweed. And that I do love that wonderful little flower that Venus certainly would be proud of, I would think, if Venus could talk to us. Another bumblebee on Asclepias tuberosa. These may be blooming still, I hope. And last year, this particular patch we're looking at bloomed despite the heat and so forth, and it had a lot of monarchs visiting it in the late part of the season. And I guess purpurascin, I don't know which one's my favorite, but I really like to get many pictures of them when they're in bloom, and try not to forget to get out there and see when the monarchs actually show up. Here's some kind of fly I never was able to identify, and it is actually inside my car against the windshield there. Another shot of Asclepias viridis, and you can see this one is sort of past, it's partly bloomed, but it seemed like it almost failed. This this fly is pretty rare in my experience. There are several names for it, which I can't remember right now, but it was even difficult for my favorite insect expert to identify it for sure. But anyway, have a good week. Hello, I'm Aubrey Shepherd on the 18th of June 2015, and we will look at some flowers. This is sensitive briar, and notice it's growing right next to a cedar tree. Actually, the cedar tree has been growing tall, and it's hiding some of the native plants in a lot of places. Polygala, field milkwort. And of course, these are cropped because these are very tiny flowers. And here's obedient plant. If you bend the top of this over gently, it'll stay that way. If the wind and rain bends it over, it's going to stay curled at the top. And this was a nice straight one. but you can see one there behind that one that's a little bent, and some of the others. And before long, maybe they'll all be bent down, because at this point, on the 18th of June, we're expecting more heavy rain. And we love the rain, but the flooding part's not pleasant. Anyway, obedient plant is treasured. If you've got some in your garden, take care of it. This is a viceroy butterfly. It differs from the monarch. It's colored the same, but see the line across the bottom of the wings? That tells you that it's a viceroy. I'm talking about that line that goes across there, a little circle in the middle. This is a Monarda species. It might be bee balm. It might be several other names but this is a wild version growing out there. And this is a prairie rose. And you see an interesting insect using it. Prairie roses come in, well, several names, but some of them grow like this without climbing, and others climb trees along the periphery of prairies and woodlands. And there's a nice insect on it. Here we are, another sensitive briar. This is unusual because it has climbed up a stem of some kind and gotten itself up about 5 feet or more in the air. And oftentimes you can only see it down close to the ground. This daisy-type flower has the soldier beetle hunting on it. Those beetles are usually looking for something smaller to eat. And, okay, you've got a swallowtail. See, it's black down there in the center. I didn't get that zoomed up enough to, I didn't really have a chance to, get close to it any closer without disturbing it. Another Asclepias spiritus, spider milkweed it's called. You can see no spider on it, but here you see a bumblebee, and you see some ants on some of these. And always some ants and spiders, but bumblebees are the main critters using it. Bumblebees and all varieties of similar in that family of bumblebees, such as carpenter bees. And we also have prairie native sunflowers, and these are not as huge as the picture makes them. They're pretty nice size, but they're wild ones, and they don't get as big as those champions at the state fair. Okay, we're looking at common milkweed, Asclepias syriaca, and I handheld that one to try to show the real close view of the flowers. Till next time, it's Aubrey Shepherd asking you to do your part to help keep the water clean, air pure, and the woods green. See you.